I once had a doctor tell me Sjogrens is an expensive disease. And he wasn't lying because it is. Living with Sjogrens often means building a healthcare team. I'm going to talk about the doctors that I see, the doctors that I have seen in the past that I no longer see, and some reasons. And then I'm just give you, for me, for my opinion, for my personal experience, some tips and everything. So one, I have a PCP, primary care physician. If you're on any type of medical care or health insurance, for some reason you got to have a PCP. I really just don't understand what they do. Unless you go into a referral. Now, the one that I have now, I was just like, hey, I need a rheumatologist, I need a cardiologist, and she referred me out. She was great for that. I have a PCP that they go back and say, who's your PCP? And I got somebody to put down. It's her. If you recall from me, if you've been following me, you recall from my video that when I was in the hospital, I got referred to a cardiologist. I do still see a cardiologist because when I was in the hospital, remember I said I had fluid around my heart. It wasn't too much that they had to do surgery, but it was enough for them to continue to monitor. So I have to go to a cardiologist, and they was monitoring, and they had to continuously doing echocardiograms, which is ultrasound of my heart to see where the fluid is. Is it going down? Is it the same? And it had stayed the same for a long time. But when I moved here, where I'm at now, it's pretty much, I don't want to say it's gone, but it's gone. It's gone. So I do see a cardiologist, see a rheumatologist. Remember, the cardiologist referred me to a rheumatologist because he didn't know why the fluid was building around my heart like it was, because I didn't have it. He was like, oh, usually around this time of the year, because it was like winter time, that people, you get fluid build up because you had a cold. I ain't have no cold. I ain't have nothing. So I ain't had a flu. I ain't had none of that. So he couldn't figure out what the information is. He was like, no, he did a test, and he was like, you need to go see a rheumatologist. So he referred me to a rheumatologist. The rheumatologist specializes in autoimmune diseases and arthritis and other things. I also was told by the rheumatologist to go see an ophthalmologist because of the medicine that helps bring down the inflammation. It can mess up your eyes. I ain't saying mine's messed up. I always been reading. I have readers. So, but you have to go get what is called Plaquenil screening. Plaquenil, or what I take with Plaquenil, is the brand name, but it's hydroxychloroquine is the medicine that I take for the inflammation that actually really worked after taking it for about 3 weeks. Was working in 3 weeks, but I still consistently take it every day. But it can mess up your eyes, so you have to go to an ophthalmologist. Now, I'll say this. DFW, the optometrist will not have it. It just depends on where you at and where you're located. Because where I'm at now, they have it was a place that I chose that have ophthalmologists and optometrists. But the optometrists can, their staff can do the screenings. The optometrists can actually read the reports, and if needed, they'll refer you to the ophthalmologist. So it just depends on where you're going. I would say if you're going to like America's Best, no, they don't have the equipment. So just call them and make sure they have the equipment is covered by your insurance. But you still got to get your yearly checkup on your eyes anyway. So I just knocked it out. Like, I'm going to just get this and let's do the screening. That's what I did last time. So I go once a year for that. I had a neurologist, but I no longer see him because after they couldn't, it wasn't nothing. All the tests were good. I didn't need them anymore. So it's just because I had passed out twice and couldn't remember. Again, I still don't, to this day, don't remember passing out. I remember saying it felt like I'm going to pass out, and I did twice. I just don't remember twice. So they was concerned about that. So I did see him. We did some at-home tests where they came in, put the probes in my head, walked around a little backpack, had to sleep with the thing and everything. So they monitor that. Also I don't see anymore, is a mental health therapist because it was so much going on. I don't know if I mentioned it before. That was not my only health problem. I had another health problem because of, and because my body had the immune, I couldn't fight what else was going on in my body. And they couldn't figure it out. But I was like, is it because of this? I'm trying to help them. Is it because, they trying to figure out, it was like, it could be, but actually it was because my body could not fight the whatever I had, which no longer I don't have anymore, was getting worse. So I had to get major surgery for that in the mental health because it was so much going on. And even though I would cry or whatever to my husband or my family, I just needed someone that didn't know me and to sort it out. What's going on? To help me out here. Help me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm always doing this to help somebody else out. You can help me out too. I would also say, if you feel like you're not getting the care that you need, or you're thinking like this don't seem right or something, either get a second opinion or get you another doctor. When I first was diagnosed, and I was referred to a rheumatologist, I ended up getting a second opinion. We were thinking about moving to Houston, so my friend that lives in Houston referred me to a doctor there, and we went to the appointments because we were thinking about moving at the time. He was a great doctor. It's just we didn't end up moving there. The rheumatologist, I feel like we wasn't not just connecting, but something wasn't connecting with her. She wasn't reading her notes or something. She was talking to me like, even when I was diagnosed, they kept assuming that I knew what I had. I was like, well, what do I have? Like, you keep talking about this dry mouth, I ain't have it yet. So if you feel like that you're not being heard, don't hesitate to get a second opinion or get another doctor, because I feel like you're paying for it. I was on my second cardiologist there because I feel like the cardiologist was rushing me out. And just like, yeah, sorry, and I was still having questions and stuff. The other thing is, since I have a lot of brain fog, I have a little book, and I don't have it with me, my little book where I write down my questions or write down some new symptoms or something that I have, and I take that to the doctor every time. I had a doctor told me to put that aside. Guess what? They ain't my doctor no more, because I can't, if I got all this brain fog, no, let me go to my book, and I need to tell you because I'm gonna forget something. The other thing is, and if you do forget, use them portals that they have to communicate with them. To communicate with them, and either their medical assistant is gonna send a message back or call you or something. Use that portal. That's one thing I learned about being in a support group. I talked about that last time. Being in a support group, they was like, oh, they always use the portal and stuff. So again, don't hesitate to get a second opinion, change the doctor, and communicate with your doctor. Okay, it's best. That is the doctors that I've seen or have seen in the past. You could be seeing more doctors like ENT. You might have something else wrong with you, or the oncologist or gastrologist or something like that, because again, it affects different organs, or it can affect the same organ at the same time. If you are a person that has Sjogrens, or someone that has Sjogrens, what doctors do you see? I always like to be prepared because I feel like I'm still brand new. I don't know everything. I'm still researching. I'm still trying to do better with my health and everything. So what doctors do you see if you feel comfortable? And why were you seeing them for what? Living with Sjogrens can feel overwhelming, but remember, you are not alone. If this video encouraged you, please subscribe and join me for the rest of the series as I share more about daily life, treatment, and hope with autoimmune disease. You can watch the full Sjogrens playlist here on my channel. See you in the next video.